Hey everyone, welcome back. And this is my review of Grisaia, episode 8. Sorry about the glare on my face. I have the blinds down on my bedroom window here, but for some reason the sun's still shining through. So yeah, sorry about the glare on my face. But anyways though, this episode of Grisaia was pretty good. I'm really glad that they're able to pick themselves back up again from that horrendous episode 6. Last episode was pretty good. This episode I thought was even better. Especially when you consider that fucking cliffhanger. Yes, this is going to be like another one that's going to have more than one part. Okay? Kind of similar to the whole thing with, I forget what their name is, that pseudo-tsundere chick. I forget what her name is. Alright, but this episode has to do with Makino, that little girl who always called Yuji Onisan, okay? And in this episode, she decides that she wants him to be her father. She even sends him a text message saying, you have been leveled up from Oni-chan to Papa. And she actually offers him $70 million to accept this. The fuck? She offers him $70 million to buy him as her father, as her dad. And he accepts it too, okay? And he takes it seriously too. Like, she's taking it seriously, so does he. Okay? He actually does take it really seriously. During the break, while everyone else is having fun doing whatever, she's stuck with him, like doing some hand-to-hand combat practice, in which we learn that she's actually pretty fast. I mean, that's pretty funny. In sniping practice. Yeah. And also she goes with him to visit his master's grave, okay, up in the mountains, and we actually get some backstory there's some snippets of backstory on Yuji. Imagine that, right? The main character getting a backstory. Like, we've gotten very little so far in the series. This is, like, episode 8 of what, like 12 or 13? So there's only, like, 4 or 5 episodes left in the series. So, yeah, we're actually getting something now from him. Apparently, his master took him in after committing an assassination. And she's always been kind of like a mother to him in a way. She raised him from a cowardly little brat to this, like, somewhat respectable man, as he puts it, okay? And so, she's died at some point in the past, and so now this is where her grave is at, as well as this is where I guess you could say his home is at. This is where the shack is at that she basically raised him in. Okay, because if you're an assassin, but you want to still live a somewhat normal life, I'd imagine you wouldn't want to have a normal house, which is out in the open, you know what I mean? Because assassins aren't very well liked, usually. So, anyways. Alright, so yeah, I'm really glad that we got some more backstory on him. Okay. In addition to that, we also get some backstory on Makino. Apparently, she came from this rich family, and she was supposed to be the heir to the family, but she wasn't allowed to be because, and at first I facepalmed with this, not because they're using a cliche, but because they use this twice in this series so far. I mean, we had Sakaki from episode 6, and now we have this, So at first I facepalmed it, but it got really good though. Basically, she was struck with an illness due to an abduction attempt, so she was deemed unfit to be the heir, so she was basically kicked out of the family, and her younger sister, I forget what her name is basically took her place as the heir. Okay, however, when she actually ends up seeing her sister and some of her bodyguards, miraculously, when she's walking around town, and she walks away from she walks past the car, because the two of them never met each other, and her younger sister, I guess, was never even told of her existence, which is kind of weird. Okay, but when she's walking away from the car fucking explodes, sending Makino flying, but Makino was perfectly fine afterwards, okay? Maybe she might be injured a little bit physically, but it's nothing too bad. But her sister survived, but just barely, okay? So I'm guessing she won't be able to be the heir anymore either, And at the end of the episode, we have And first off, before I say this thing, it's good to note that Makina and Yuji get along very well, and Makina seems to love the fact that Yuji's her father, even though he is really strict. Okay? And Yuji seems to be enjoying it as well. But at the end of the episode, Yuji gets called in to his boss, okay, the one who assigns him the assassinations. And apparently we learned that for some reason, like, he's still technically an assassin, but for some reason he's unable to actually do his job at the moment. We didn't exactly learn why. Okay, but she says that, you know, I know, but you still need to see this. So she brings up the picture. The person who's the next target is Makina. What? Fucking cliffhanger. Are you kidding me? Fucking cliffhanger. Oh my god. Kind of a douchey cliffhanger right there. But I'm glad that it was a cliffhanger in a way, because I'm glad they're spending multiple episodes to do this. Because this, if they were to do this in one episode, it would be episode 6 all over again. It really would be. So I'm really glad they're going to do multiple episodes to do this. I'm not sure if it's going to be concluded in the next episode, but or if they're going to have like a third episode to do this. But because the whole story was a pseudo tsundere chick, I think hers lasted like 3 episodes if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so overall, I thought this was a really good episode. Once again, it's definitely getting better. Okay, now I do want to mention there were definitely some rather awkward moments in this episode. Like, apparently Makina wanted Yuji to be her father, which is all fine and dandy, okay? But apparently, she doesn't exactly know what the concept of a father is, because she's constantly groping him. She actually knocked him to the ground and kissed him at one point, and there's lots of slurping sounds, and it just sounded really fucking disturbing. So apparently she doesn't really understand the concept of what a father's supposed to be. And yeah, it was kind of awkward. In addition to that, now this part's just really funny. Makina is a real potty mouth, despite her age. Like, dear God. It's actually kind of funny, because oh my God. Thing is, I see little girls and little boys like that all the time where I live that have those kinds of potty mouths, and it's just really funny listening to it. Okay, so that's not a complaint, that's just something I thought was kind of funny. So if you've yet to see this week's episode of Grisaia, I definitely recommend that you do, provided that you haven't dropped it yet, like most people probably have. I cannot wait for next week's episode. Okay, this was a really good episode. That cliffhanger was kind of painful when you really think about it, okay? But I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week when we finally get episode 9. So, anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.